The order of a household. Okay. We're going to talk about what is the proper order of a house. Is the woman the head? Is the man the head? Is the children the head? Or is there no head? Have things changed? Is what's going on? How we should operate this thing? Because the household is a powerful thing. It's a powerful tool if used right. It's the backbone of society. A dysfunctional home means a dysfunctional person coming from that home. A lot of the times, a person in need of healing and regeneration. So we want to make sure our homes are solid. Make sure it's a healthy home, operating in harmony with the laws of nature and the laws of the divine one, the Most High Yah. So, with that being said, let's get some wisdom and some knowledge and some understanding from Ephesians. In the book of Ephesians, Paul talks about this order. He says, going down to verse 21, he says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Elohim. So right here, he's finished addressing the men. He's talking to men all the way up to that point. How do I know? He's dealing with men. Is because if you go up to verse 5, he says, for this ye know that no whoremonger, no unclean person, nor covetous man. So he's talking to men about being whoremongers. A woman can't be a whoremonger. Especially back then, harlots. They were harlots and prostitutes. But a whoremonger was a man. So he's telling the men what they must do and how they must submit to another, be in unity with one another. Then in verse 22, he get down to the wives. He said, wives, submit yourself to your own husbands as unto Yah. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ, the anointed one, is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So he's telling us there's a hierarchy, there's a system. The man is like Christ. He is the head of the home. Just like Christ is the head of the church. It's the same system. See, the Satan don't like this system. But this is the only system that's going to work. All this other stuff ain't going to work. You can raise some kids, but they ain't going to be healthy. It's not in their mind. Huh? They're not. If the system ain't right. In our egos, we like to think our children came out all right, but talk to the child. See what they say. It'll be a whole different story. Because I know. I had to let mine know. So, they probably had to let theirs know, and vice versa. It's just a chain reaction, generational curse. And preferably, my child won't have to go through that. Hopefully I can. By the grace of Yah, I have and will continue to break that curse. So, but I do praise Yah for what she did do. But nevertheless, getting back to this hierarchy, the wives, they come under the husband. The husband come under Christ. And then, but it's not like it's a dictatorship as far as like a slavery for the woman. It's actually the best thing for the woman. Because right now, everybody talking about a high value male, an alpha male, they talking about all these things, day in and day out. They want a man that makes 6 figures. They want this, they want that. They want a man that's doing all this. They want a man that's tall. They want this, they want. So really they saying they want a leader that's rich. They want a man that can make decisions. So you want somebody to make decisions for you. You want somebody to be rich. You want a leader. So what do you want then? Yeah, you want Christ. You want the man to be the head. So nature tells the truth. It's already in us. And what a man wants, he wants to be there. He wants to take care of this. He wants to protect his home. He wants to make a lot of money. He wants to nurture his kids. A man that's not dysfunctional, but a healthy-minded man. A man who has been healed. Or a man who just matured. That's what he wants. So, but the man is called to serve. It's not that he's the head and he's looking for service, but he's the head and he's looking to serve. It says, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. So in everything. So this is how things should be. The woman is to be under the supervision. And I say supervision, not like people be like, feeling some type of way, but it just is what it is. The woman is supposed to be up under the reign of the king in all the areas of life, except her connection with the Most High, and except her personal, female stuff. But like far as when they become one, they are one, and he is the final say so. But it's not like he is supposed to be a domineering, power hunger fiend, abusive. No. It says, husband, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church. Now that's big. That's huge. How much did Christ love the church? He gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So we see right there that the objective of a man with his wife is to elevate her, to beautify her, is to make her better, bring out the best version of her. And he does that by being the best version of himself in the Most High. Not having a spot or wrinkle. He want her to be glorious. He don't want her to be treated any kind of way. No spot on her. He treats her and he protects her and he's gentle with her. Don't want no wrinkle on her. And want her looking glorious. Shining. Happy. Smiling. Holy. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. That's how a man should love his wife, as his own body. Like you don't treat yourself any kind of way. So don't treat your wife any kind of way. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. So if you domineering over your wife, you're gonna have that spirit towards yourself. However you treat her is how you treat yourself. That's the union in it. Like you can't get away from it. If you cheat on her, you cheat on yourself. Like, it's that deep. You can't even really prosper until you really doing right in your leadership role with your wife, in your words with her. You curse her, you curse yourself. And that's how deep it gets. For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourished it and cherished it, even as Yahweh the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. So that's a beautiful union. This man is loving this woman as himself. Whatever he wants for himself, he wants for her. He wants some new shoes, he wants that for her. He wants some new clothes, he wants that for her. He wants some jewelry, he wants that for her. He wants to be treated nice and fair and loving and kind, he wants that for her. He want to eat good, he wants that for her. He want respect, he wants that for her. And she is reverencing him, trusting in his guidance as he is being inspired by the Most High to lead the household in a righteous and honorable manner. What a beautiful union. This is what a marriage is. This is the order of a household. And verse 1 says, children, obey your parents in Yahweh, for this is right. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and the admonition of Yahweh. So now here come the children. The children are next in line. And they were to be loved. And they were to obey the mother and the father. Not just the father, but the mother and the father. Not just the mother, but the mother and the father. As the mother reverenced the husband, and the husband reverenced the Most High. That it may be well with the kid. That they may have a long life. So it's Yahweh's will for a child to have a long life. It's not Yahweh's will that these kids be dying. There's a reason why stuff like that happen. Yahweh say that ye may have a long life. That's the will of Yah. 70 by reason of strength. And anything after that is a blessing. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, that thou mayest live long on the earth. And father, provoke not your children to wrath. Don't be wrathing your children, punching them and thinking that you making them tough and all this stuff, unnecessarily roughness and all this foolishness, drinking liquor, trying to call all this foolishness, man. Made up rites of passages that we have. And it says, bring them up in the nurture, man. You got to nurture and train them how to think. You got to be gentle with them and patient. It ain't all about being hard, man. Because you ain't that hard. You wish you had a gentle father yourself. So, it's about nurturing them, man. Teaching them how to fight. Teaching them things and training them and giving them the mentality, not beating it in them, but teaching them how to think, why they must think in an assertive manner, a confident manner, in a leadership role, and why they must protect themselves, defend themselves. First law of nature, self-preservation, protection of your family, yourself and others. They must know these things from an intellectual standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint, where they only can operate in anger and not from a place of reason. So that when they hit the streets or they be out in the community, that if they're going to have to go to war, it's within reason. It's not because they got angry, but it's because they had no other choice but to protect themselves in that situation. And that way we can cut down all this senseless violence, emotional, because people are operating out of anger. They ain't been raised right, or they refuse their training for another. So, there go the household. There go the household. And under that is the servants. Like if you have a business, verse 5 talks about servants. You got a business and all that stuff, because that's what he's talking about. The employees and stuff come under your children. They don't come before your children. They don't come before your wife. So there's an order. And that order makes sense. If you just look at the physicality of a man, he's bigger, he's stronger, his voice deeper. He looked like his head bigger. He looked like he's been put here to be in control of the family. If you take away the police, who can stop him if he go on a rant? Nobody. If you just return back to nature, who can stop a man from getting his family in line if you take away the police? If you couldn't call them. So you just see it by nature, how it's supposed to be. You look at the animal kingdom, we can see by nature how it's supposed to be. We can see the lion at the head, The wolf pack, we can see the wolf, the male at the head. And everything runs smooth. So let's not get messed up in our mind and caught up in this matrix and Babylon, because that's what they want us to do. Get caught up in this matrix where we don't know nature no more. They got us too busy looking at lamb chops and Sesame Street, artificial nature. We're not learning from true nature, because Yahweh designed true nature after him, within his reason, within his laws of prosperity. So let's get back to reality. Get some fresh out of there. In Yeshua's name. Amen. Shalom.